Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade and this is How to App on iOS. And this is our second part of looking at the amazing AUM, audio host, DAW, whatever you want to call it. So this is part 2 and we're going to have some fun today. I'm a bit more relaxed today. Okie dokie dokie doo. Where are we? There we are. Wrong screen. Howdy do. I hope you're all doing well. If you're watching over on Facebook, welcome aboard. You can join in the conversation by typing in the chat there. You can also watch the show live on howtoapponios.com. It's also able to chat and interact there with the YouTubes where we are over right now. And over here on the YouTubes, there's some friends that I am going to say hello to. Tom, Rochelle, Russ, Gary Hubbs, I think Benedict Stewart is here, Dr. Zorders, hello, I saw Pete Johns earlier, not sure who else I saw earlier, who else did I see, anyone else? No, that's about it. So yeah, if you are here in the chat, say hello and all that jazz, and all good in the hood. Hello Russ, good to see you. Okay, so some good stuff happened overnight, which I'm really excited about. So if you follow the show and, hello, SM Borthwick as well. Welcome to the chat. If you follow the show, you will know that last week I set the wheels in motion to release a Ben Folds 5 cover called Smoke, which Pete Johns, who's in the chat from Studio Live today and from his own self-titled artistry, provided vocals for. And we went through the process of how we did that last week and uploading that onto DistroKid. Well, the good news is, folks, it was released yesterday, so that is now available over on it's not on all the streaming services yet, so it's available on Apple Music, a few of them. It's not on Spotify yet, so we can check right now and see if it actually is on Spotify. So here is, just to let you know too, here's the How to App on iOS website. So there it is, and you can also get to my music from here as well. So if we scoot over to noise, hopefully let's just go to shop, which you can buy all the music from here. Look at this, you get a nag message straight away saying that the Ben Folds cover is available. We can close that. So I've put up a nag message. Have any other stores got it now? No. So as you can see here, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal and iTunes currently have it. So that's cool. I released a video last night on the YouTubes, so you can check out this channel. It's just a pretty simple clip just to celebrate it being out. So that's really exciting. So thank you, Pete, for doing the vocals for that. And I'll let you know, I sent an email yesterday to Ben Folds Management regarding the track as well. I won't go into anything further, but who knows what could happen. So yeah, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to look further at AUM. Now, there's a lot of shit going on today, all right? So, yeah, and it did take longer, SM Borthwick. I said in the help files of DistroKid, it said with covers, it can take up to 14 business days. So it took about a week. And I'm guessing, of course, I'm just speculating, but it's probably because it's a very well-known artist who's signed to a really big label that they had to go through all of that business. And once it's finished, the good part is when you go into your DistroKid page and you look at your track, there's actually a link so you can download the license and read the whole license that you've paid your money for. So it worked out to be $17.68 Australian that I'm going to have to pay each year for it to stay in the App Store and on Spotify and Apple Music. So sounds cool. And yes, Deep Gravity. Man, we had a lot of streams yesterday. Damn. It was islands in the stream, on and on. So let's jump into AUM today. So I've already pre-prepared something. Now, just to let you know, I've spent an hour, a bit over an hour this morning, just before the show, really quickly, just slapping together something. Okay? Now, as I said, it's slapped together. There's a whole lot of tracks. And we're just going to jam with it, and I'll show you how you can export the tracks, you can record the tracks, you can save the profiles, you can save the whole project, and you can export all the tracks over to something like Cubasis. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So we shall open up AUM and get it on the big screen there. All right, here we are. So here are all the tracks I have. So if you remember from yesterday, the tracks here with the volume swells, volume levels, they are actual tracks. And these ones without, they are MIDI tracks, which are controlling a track. So normally it's the track that it's next to. So this collider here is controlling this one here. This one here is controlling here. That's how I've kind of worked it. So as you can see, I've got a whole lot of shit going on. Yeah. It's looking complicated already. Yeah. But if you look at today's episode, more of like this as a door, because that's how I'm running it today. It's just like a door. And you know, you can, and I'm not trying to show you how to like do everything. There's no right way to use AUM. The beautiful thing about AUM, before I do kick off these sounds, is it's all about your imagination. This is like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. It's all about your imagination. You've just got this huge palette here to import anything you want from a broad spectrum of apps, styles of apps, synthesizers, live guitar stuff, and you can really create something really out of the box. All right, so let's start off with the first track here. So what have I got in here? So this is an app called Pure Acid, and it's kind of a 80s retro kind of dance machine, I call it. It's sick. It's got some amazing sounds. It's a dance machine pretty much. So what I will do is show you that by itself. So what I'm going to do is down the bottom here is I'm going to solo this track just so you can hear what's going on. Now to hear it, I have to hit the transport up the top. Okay, so when I hit that, it'll start playing. Yeah. And that's all that's going through this track. That's all that's happening, man. It's just constant. Yeah. Cool. Oh! Let's stop that. So you heard a bit of what's going on there. The next track here, we are running an app called FM Player 2. So this is a synthesizer with a whole lot of really cool sounds on it. And let's have a listen to that. So I've got a really deep bass going. If I bring in the drums. Cool, but you'll notice we got no snare going on. Now don't get too excited, because this ain't a disco track. Sure, it's starting out like a disco thing, but it's going to get a bit crazy. All right, so we'll stop that. Let's solo the next track, because what I'm using in the next track is 4 Pockets Strummer. So if you've seen this app before, you'll know this is an acoustic guitar app. You can, and there's a whole bunch of other sounds you can import in here. I could have like imported heaps of different sounds that are in this. If you've seen the show I did on this, it's a really incredible app. But let's have a play with this. So I've just got a 12-string guitar, and I'm just running my fingers here over these strings. So I've set a pattern here, and let's solo this one and hear what's going on with this. We can bring in the bass. Fun, yeah? Cool, so we'll stop that there. The next one we have along the line here. So it's getting a little bit more complicated. So this is mood units, and the sound I've got set up here is just an amp synth. And I can hit the keyboard because I've got my keyboard connected to it as well. But I'm actually running this via this MIDI track here. Okay, so I've got a collision going on. You would have seen this yesterday. I've got this little grid, and when these balls move across this grid here, every time they hit the edge, they'll trigger the sound. So I've got it running in a minor D. Okay, so let's just get that going and hit play and see. So you can see every time those balls hit the edge. So it's a randomizer. It's a randomizing sequencer. Just to add some roughage, okay? Total roughage. So we'll stop that. Hit pause. And what have we got next? So I've got a piano next. Now this is really interesting what I've done here, okay? Pay attention. So I've got the Ravenscroft piano set up here. I can make this larger, but it's already pretty small size. So I'm just running the Ravenscroft, but I want to control it to do its own thing. I don't want to control it on my keyboard. So what I've done also is I have a MIDI track next to it, but I'm using Strummer by 4Pockets as the controller, as the sequencer. So when I open up here, I've got a sequence here, which is pretty similar to the other one, the guitar. So when I solo this and hit play, and then if I bring in this guitar, nice, yeah? So we'll stop that. We'll go further along the line because as you can see, I've added heaps of goodness here. This is lots of fun, man. You can explore this shit and go crazy. So what is the next track? Let's hit solo on this one. This one's a live track. So this is just my drum kit. So I can play along randomly whenever I want. So if I flick my camera over here, I have to turn down the mic though so you don't hear the tapping. Okay, so we've got a live drum kit there just sitting there as well, so we can unsolo that. What have we got next? Let's go along the line here. Go back to our main screen. So we've got iSymphonic. So as you can see too, and pay attention here. Now, anyone who's used GarageBand and used a whole bunch of these AUV3 plugins, you'll know as soon as you're using them all, shit starts to go pear-shaped because it can't handle all these plugins, and your iPad or your iPhone starts to shit itself. You can see up the top here, remember I said yesterday, you've got this little DSP section showing how much of your memory is being used, and I've got a shitload of stuff running here at the moment, and we're looking at 53%. That's pretty cool. So I've got a Baroque orchestra set in here, and again, I really don't want to play this, so I want this to automate itself. So I've set up a sequencer, and what I've used here, there it is there, I have used the Atom this piano roll from Atom. It's really amazing. So what it basically gives you is a full piano roll that you can use as an AUV3. So when I hit play on this, let's solo it. So you can see I've just placed these notes into a piano roll, and that's controlling that single note. And I've also done the same thing for the instrument next door to it. So let's solo this one as well. Whoops. Pretty cool, yeah? So there we go. So they've got two, and what sound have I got in here? So I've got a classic orchestra in this one, and I've got the Baroque orchestra in this one. So we've got two channels of iSymphonic happening, and then over here we've got even more. We've got Synth Master running over here, and I've got a Retro Plux synth going on. And just to show you, and once again, I'm using Atom again for the piano roll. This Atom, this app is fucking amazing. So let's solo this and hear what this is doing. Get rid of those strings. So just something basic under there. Okay, now you'll notice here I've got another sitting right next to it, another MIDI 15. This is actually controlling the bass here, this second track. I just moved this bass. Now I'll show you how you move this. I'm just going to touch on this and hold it up, and you'll see when I hold it up, everything goes smaller. So now I'm going to drag this across and bring it back. Oops. bring it back home so it's more in sync and can be back next to that MIDI track so I know what's going on. There we go. So now it's back next to its MIDI track, so I know this MIDI track here is controlling this bass amp, this bass sound. Right, so what else have I got? So I got a couple of tracks here, which these last two tracks, these are just for me to fluff around on while all the rest of those are playing. So I've added in here a saxophone with GeoShred. And why you stopped playing? I think did I turn it? Oh, it's because it's not soloed, because it's soloed now. So we've got some sax in there just to play around with, because I'm going to try and do all this live. It's going to be fun. And over here, if I solo this one and just put my drumsticks down for a second, I have right next to me, flick over the cam so you can see what I'm doing. I have this motherfucker, yeah. Cool. So we got a guitar, live guitar as well. How cool is that, yeah? Now, let's just kick this shit off and start it playing, and we'll add everything in and we'll see what happens. And we'll just have a play around. So I'll leave my camera on here so you can see what I'm doing. Unsolo that. All right, we'll start off with this. Yeah, what I will do is we'll pull down all the volumes of these. That's probably the best way to do this and bring everything in. La 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 la. And then once we'll have a play around with it for a while, and then I'll show you how you can record all these tracks and get them all into GarageBand first, and then into Cubasis. Okay, so up here I've just hit the back button to get the timer back to the start. So all this is in 120 BPM. So I've made sure everything's in 120 BPM. It's all in the key of C. So to make it nice and easy, just so I can fart around with it. And let's kick off with, yeah. I'm going to turn down my mic and just bring things up, and hopefully you'll see what's happening on the screen. And I'll see you soon. Fuck yeah, huh? Lots of fun, man. Lots of fun. Yeah? What do you think? Lots of fun. Look, man, it's an expensive app. We talked about the price yesterday. It's a lot of money to lay down, but the shit you can do with this thing is absolutely... And, you know, as I said, look, and I'm not shitting in none of your pockets. So I hope you've come to expect that from me. I hope I come across as honest enough. That took me about, it was about an hour and 5 minutes just before this show, just adding stuff on the fly, keep it in the same key, and I just thought, cool, I'm just going to wing it and jump in and go for it. Because I'll admit, just like a lot of people, AUM scared me for the longest time, man. It looked so overwhelming, and I don't make electronic music. I don't hide the fact from that. I'm not an amazing keyboard player or anything like that. I'm a good rock artist. I like to play instruments, and I never detract from anybody's style of music, electronic or not. It's all music to me. But I would see so many electronic artists making music with AUM and look at it and go, fuck. You know, I'd look at Doug over in a sound test room. I'd look at people like Jakob Hack and all these people, and they make such amazing stuff with it, you know. And it overwhelmed me. But as soon as I started jumping in with it, and this is only in the last, remember, complete honesty and upfront too, it's only been the last couple of weeks of showing more synthesizer apps on this program that I've opened this thing up to show inside this app. And it's made me want to find out more about it. So if you dig really deep into this thing, there's a lot of shit. I mean, you know, I didn't even go into the effects that I've got added here. So I've got a couple of effects added on some of these channels. I could make this even much more huge. So look, let's bring up all the sounds again. Let's bring up all the volumes. And what I'm going to show you next is, I think, really interesting, right? Now, we touched on this briefly yesterday about how what does suck with this, I believe, is that there is no ability, because you're given like eight virtual inter-app audio tracks. And in Cubasis, you can do this beautifully. Yeah, and I'll show you how to do it, but I'll show you with GarageBand first. So you should be able to just import all 8 tracks directly into a DAW. And in Cubasis, you can. All right, but first, what I'm going to show you. So what do you do once you've made something like this, once you've finished this whole piece here? Here's the fun bit. So you head over to these 3 lines over here and click on it, and you've got a save option. So you hit save, you name it, and hit save session. I'm going to override it. And then in your files here, once I click on files, you'll see all your sessions are saved. So you can save these huge sessions. So there's my how to app session. So whenever I close this down, and I can clear this right now, I won't do it right now just in case we're live, and you never know what fucking happens live. But, you know, you can, because I've done it before. You can close this out. So you've got here, there's a clear button. So it will clear everything from here. And I can go back into my files and just hit how to app session, and it'll bring all these things back in. Pretty fucking amazing. Now you'll notice down here as well, underneath the sessions section, you've got recordings. And this is really amazing because this integrates directly into AudioShare. So if I want to send any music to AudioShare from here, it creates a folder in AudioShare. It's really sick. I'm going to show you how to do that now. For those of you who would love to make something like I just made then, but move it over into something like GarageBand where you feel more comfortable. If that's, you know, if you're still learning this kind of thing, or you come up with a really good groove that you'd now like to move into GarageBand, you can actually do it. And I'm going to show you how. So basically across the bottom here of each track. Now remember, each track that has a volume slider is an actual track. These tracks here with the MIDI, the controlling tracks, right? They don't have volume, so they're not counted as a track. So you'll see down the bottom here of each track, there's a little R button. When I click on that, record. So I'm going to go across all of these and hit record on all the available ones, every track. So what have we got? So 8 tracks. How many tracks are all up? Probably don't need to do the drums because they're going to come out blank. And but we can do it because I can play live. So I've just clicked all those tracks, okay? So you can see they've all got record written on them. Let's just get rid of this keyboard here. And to get rid of the keyboard here, just click hide. So that keyboard's gone. Now, fun. All you need to do to start recording this is hit your back button to make sure you're back at the start, and just hit record and you're off. And we'll hit stop. So where's it all gone? What's happened? Did it record anything? Okay, so if I click over here and click files, you'll see there's a whole new section here in recordings. I'll click on that. Look at them all. They've all been named. Channel 1, Channel 2. They've got the BPM listed, 120. All right, cool. How do I get to those? You'll notice down the bottom here, there's a little button for audio share. I'm going to click on that. And look at this shit. Opens it straight up in audio share, and you can click on each file, and there they all are, all split into individual tracks for you to go and import straight into GarageBand. So sure, there isn't a function to actually like play directly live into GarageBand like you can do with Cubasis, but there's a workaround. There's always a fucking workaround, trust me. And this is your workaround to send these beautiful pieces. So here we are. So they're all there. Pretty wicked, yeah? And we can go back to AUM. And that is how you do that. Very, very cool. So we'll turn off, we'll leave these record buttons on here. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to go over to Cubasis. So how many tracks have we got here? So we've got, what I say before. Here's the thing. You can only do 8 tracks. So let's just turn off all these, and we'll just do the first 8 tracks. So you can only do 8 tracks at a time with what I'm about to show you. So there we are. We've got up to the first iSymphonic track, and that should be cool. So how do we get these into Cubasis? We go down here. So this little circle down the bottom of each track, and we want to click into App Audio and Bus. So I'm going to select here Bus 1. Now you'll notice down here it's like grayed out. It's got these lines through it. That's because we haven't gone into Cubasis yet and actually set up the tracks. So we're going to go audio output 2, and you just go across the line here. Audio output 3, 4, and hang on, what am I up to? That was that 5? What have I done? So I've probably got more tracks I can play with because they're numbered wrong. So that's 4, 5, 6. We can add this one here. Let's just leave it at 6 anyway. Oh, we'll do 7. Why not? So there we've got 7 tracks there. Now I'm going to open up Cubasis. I've got a blank palette here ready to go. So I'm going to have to add a whole bunch of audio tracks here. So let's add 7 tracks here. And now we've got 7 blank tracks all ready to go. And now here's the thing, you have to go in and arm all of these. Right, so we'll go up to, so we're on track 1 here. And you go to this little knob here called routing. And we want to go to mono input and inter-app audio. And then we scroll. So we scroll down till we find the AUM tracks. Did I go past them? I'm pretty sure I did. So there you can see here, AUM port 1 through to 8. Okay, so I select that one. And now if we go over to track 1 here, you'll see it's actually colored in now with the little Cubasis symbol. So we have to go back and do all of these now. So track 2, mono input, Interapp audio. So it's a bit of a little stretch to do all this stuff. And we want track 3. Good times. Now I've got to try and fill and talk while I'm doing this and concentrate at the same time. Yeah. Let's just, for argument's sake, let's just do 4 tracks because it saves time, yeah? And we'll jump back over here. We'll do the 4th track. Mono input, Interapp audio, and this is connecting the 2 apps together. And they will sync up their time clocks and everything, so we're all good to go. So there are the tracks. Take this back to the start, and it should be easy. I should just be able to press record and it should work, but no, because I've got to go in here now and I've got to arm the 4 tracks. Okay, so here's your record button to arm each of these tracks. So you have to make sure that they're all armed to record. And there's your 4 tracks. They're all should be ready to record now. So let's jump back over to AUM and hit, I think did we hit play or record? I don't know. Let's have a look. We have to hit record. Of course we do. Cool. So now if I hit record, and I'll just, we'll leave those ones, whatever. So now when I hit record, they all should start recording over there. Oops. How was it saying? Nothing to record. Enable recording in one or more channels. I've got recording set. Ah, so I've got to hit record. There we go. Is it going? I don't know. There's a way to hear this, play this back too. I'm doing something wrong. So it's actually recording over here, but I don't have sound going because what have I done wrong to do that? Let's just stop and see if it's recorded. Because there is a way to do that, and I've just muffed it up. And that happens too. So let's stop that. And we'll head back over to Cubasis. And it didn't record anything. How's that? What did I do wrong? Fuck. I knew something would go wrong today. Do I have to have these playing to here? I can't fucking remember. God, I'm having a mind blank. Cool. I've got to have this playing. That's what I've got to do. So let's hit this, start this playing. And hit record, and let's go. Now look at that, and there we go. So now you can see all these tracks have recorded over here. So if I hit play, so it's as simple as that. Look at those, they're all sitting there ready to go. So I just didn't hit play over in AUM. So you can see that there's a lot of options here. So you can use this in any other DAWs that you're comfortable using. Beatmaker, whatever the thing is that you're comfortable using. Audio Pro, same thing applies. Unfortunately, GarageBand is the only one that is a fucker in all this and refuses to let you do it. So that is there. Now, I'll just show you one more thing with this. So let's turn these off for now. Oops. Let's do this. Let's go back here, and you know what? Let's just call it a day, because I'm probably going to do another series on the other thing that I want to show you, because you know what? Let's show you this before we go to. So I'm going to clear this shit now. There we go, and boom, like that. all of it is gone. My entire session is gone. Did it work if I hit my Files app and bring it back here? So let's go back, and here's my How to App session. Oh, look at that shit, man. Why am I so happy right now? That is cool as hell, yeah? Damn straight. So I should just be able to hit play and... There you go, folks. What do you think, huh? Pretty impressive app. Is this something that is going to be something you look into? Is it something that you already use? Or is it something you're going to think about using in the future? Is your imagination running wild at the things that you can do with this kind of thing? Because, even imagine, pretty easy just to lay down a quick drum track in one. So even just to, if we just clear this, so easy just to open this up, quickly add something like a inter-app audio here. So drum session, just add in a drum session track in here. Put your guitar in a second track and just kick off with some... and just jam out to. So there's so many possibilities. I mean, you can make, so many types of different music. You can just jam along with things. As I said in yesterday's show, you can import audio in to this as well really easily from other apps and play along with, karaoke stuff. You can sing, you can add microphones, you can add everything to this. And you can route it almost anywhere around your iPad. It's really incredible. And as I said, I'll remind you one last time, just for those who kind of look at these things and go, yeah, but it all looks complicated. How did I work this stuff out? Because I knew shit all about this. The trusty manual. This guide is really easy to get to. Links to get to everything. So everything is linked from the table of contents, so you can just find what you're looking for. Pre-post fader. There you go, straight to it. And it only took me like a few hours of just reading and fucking around with it. And I was able to create something in an hour like I did today. And hey, look, what I created wasn't anything really cool. All right. So, Tom Rochelle says the Collider and Piano Roll are separate apps. Yes, they sure are. And I've only bought them recently. So where are they? So this is Atom. It's an AUV3 plugin. You can only use it in Host apps. But yeah, I mean, it's a piano roll. It's so amazing to have. It cost me like $14. And the other one, the Collider one, that comes with a whole lot of... So that's Rosetta. Again, it's an AUV3 plugin. But as you can see, when you use it in here... And I'm going to do shows on these two apps, Tom, because I think these are some pretty serious apps that people will get something from. We don't want inter-app audio, we want audio unit extension. With the Rosetta app, you don't just get like the Collider, you actually get, where are we? What am I doing? What section am I in? Blah, 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 what's going on here? Oh, so we want to go in, let's just go into a MIDI track here. Oops. And what you're getting is all of these. Here you go. So you've got an arpeggio, you've got bassline, cells, collider, LFO, particles, rhythm, scalar, XY, XOX. So there's a whole lot of really good stuff in that one app. And that app too was about $14. But super handy. They're two very handy apps that have really changed, how I'm making music. And seriously, all these new apps that I'm downloading lately and the synth apps, and I'm getting into so much more synth stuff, it's really going to help with my utensils project because I'm starting to write an album for that at the moment too. Some other apps I'm going to be looking at, so I'll let you guys know. I've got the new drum computer as well from Sugar Bytes. We're going to have a look at this. Not sure when. I'm making it up each day as I go again, as compared to last week. What else is new that we're going to look at? So Adam, I got the new 909 Audio Kit drums here. So this is nice and fun. Cool. So that's something else I have. I was going to look at Magellan 2 with a whole bunch of the sound packs there. Also, Pure Acid, going to have a look at this at some stage as well. And thank you to the person who sent me a kind donation to actually purchase this. You know who you are, you rock. What else? And also I do have this as well, the new Henny, the business app, new House Mark app. So I've got a few of these things to look at over the next couple of weeks. Also 4-pocket slow-mo effects I'm going to look at too. So we've got a bunch of shit backing up. So that's what's coming up over the next week, 2 weeks. Just so you know. And I'll let you know now before I go, because we are getting a bit long in the tooth now. On Friday's show, we don't have an interview as such. We are having, if you've been around the channel for a while, we've already had one episode of The Rant. And it's The Rant Part 2. And it'll be me and Pete Johns sitting here for an hour and a bit, shooting the shit about how we really feel about what's going on in the music industry, what's going on with a whole bunch of new Macs with silicon chips, and just the general stuff that you guys want to shoot questions at us about, and we'll be as honest as we can. So that's what's happening on Friday. We've got The Rant is back. Yeah! So that's going to be fun. And is there anything else I need to tell you? I don't really think so. I think I can let you all go and enjoy your day, evening, wherever you are. If you are, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you're getting like good shit out of these shows, please subscribe. It makes me feel happy. We're edging closer and closer to 1,000 people. We're over the 850 mark. So good times. I have predicted we've got to get there by the end of the year. So if we can get there by the end of the year to 1,000 people, you guys will rule. So, and if you guys subscribe, let me know always. Let me know in the comments what you'd like me to look at, things like that. I can do my best to look at them. What else? There's a couple of things I was going to say too. So there is a couple of series things I've got coming up. So I'm going to be doing another video clip soon for Metheist, and working on another single for DreadCircus, which will be on the channel as well. So until then, I hope you have a great day. And if you are watching on the replay, we've got some little buttons popping up on the screen now. Subscribe. There's a playlist of stuff to watch. You can always go to howtoapp.ios.com to check out everything and see my music there as well. So take care, folks. Hope you have a wonderful day. Keep creating. Be cool. Stay gangster. And do what makes you happy. Adios.